Hello, how are you? How was your weekend? I hope that it was wonderful. So we began another class, another bit of grammar in this unit. Okay, for unit 9, we're going to take a look at the use of did. Okay, but before we do that, let me make this disclaimer notice. Aviso de privacidad. A partir de este momento, iniciamos la grabación de la sesión de clases en Zoom. El uso de este video será única y exclusivamente para fines académicos. Ninguna persona puede usar las imágenes, audio o información que aquí se comparten con fines ajenos a la clase. Los derechos son propiedad del Instituto Oriente AC. Este espacio se rige bajo las normas del Manual de Convivencia del Colegio. So we're drawing to a close of the school year, and with that, we're going to take a look at did. Okay, today we're going to learn to ask and answer about where people went and what they did. Okay, so we have these two different things about did. We're going to use it in combination with where and what. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the questions. And let's see if we remember from the last grammar video that we saw, how we can make questions with did. Okay, so first of all, let me draw your attention to where the questions are. We have, where did, okay, where did you, he, she, they go? What did you, he, she, they see? Did you, he, she, they like it? So what we notice from the structure is that first we have to use did. Then we follow that with a person, a subject. And finally, we put the verb with the complement and then the question mark. Now, remember that the subject is the person, the author of the action. In this case, you, he, she, they, etc., etc., etc. These are the subject. Okay, these are the people. And we're not going to limit ourselves to the pronouns. We can use other things. For example, we can say in the first question, where did my father go? Where did her mother go? Where did your dog go? Okay, we can use another subject. A subject will be a person, maybe in some cases an animal, when you talk about your pet, or a thing, okay, when you talk about inanimate objects. Now, when we make the question with what or where, we do something very, very, very simple. We only put what or where at the beginning, and voila, we have an open question. What did your mother see? What did my father see? Okay, where did your cousins go? What did the computer do? Okay, the person can be an animal or an object. Now, let's take a look at the answers. Okay, again, let me draw your attention to where the answers are. So don't pay attention to the questions, only to where the answers are. For the answers, okay, take a look at what we have there on the screen. I, he, she, they went to an art gallery. I, he, she, they saw a play. Yes, I, he, she, they liked it. Or no, I, he, she, they didn't like it. So what did we do? What did we do? We used first a subject, and then we followed that with a verb in past. When we talk about positive, when we talk about yes, or we used didn't with the verb in simple form when we talked about negative, okay, when we said no. And the complement after that, okay, the complement is always at the end. It's never difficult, it's never complex. Okay, when you want to give a yes or no answer, we do something very simple. We only put yes or no at the beginning. Okay, and remember, the subject is always, okay, what we have here is always the first part. Okay, the subject, I, he, she, they, it's always the first part. And it can be a person, it can be an animal, or it can be an object, okay? But all of these are the subject, okay? The first part of the sentence. And as I said, put yes or no at the beginning when you want to give a yes or no answer, okay, for a closed question. We saw these things last in the last unit, yes. Okay, we saw these things in the last unit. So these shouldn't be very complicated for you. This is basically review, okay? It's basically the same thing. We have just a little detail of using what and where, or rather focusing on what and where, but it's basically the same thing. Okay, let's see. We have some important information, okay? When we use did, okay, for past questions with what, where, and their answers. Okay, we are going to talk about the do's and the don'ts of using did. Do's is something that is correct. Don't is something that is not correct. Okay, let me show you some of the do's and don'ts of using did. Tongue twister. Okay, look at this question. Where did you play? Okay, this question is correct. This is a do. But a don't is where did you play? Okay, the difference is that in the question with do, we used play in simple form because when we make a question with did, we don't put the verb in past. Okay, let me repeat that. We don't put the verb in past. We put the verb in simple form. The don't is when we put it in past, okay? Don't put the verb in past with a question with did. Another do. The girls went to the park. That's correct. The girls did went to the park. Okay, we have another problem. When we talk about a sentence in positive, we use only the verb in past. Okay, only the verb in past. We don't put did. Okay, we don't put did. When you use a complete sentence in positive, don't put did. Okay, don't put did. Another do that we have, they didn't have breakfast. Okay, that's correct. The incorrect form would be they didn't had breakfast. Okay, the correct thing is to put the verb in simple form. Didn't have, didn't take, didn't eat, didn't play, didn't cook, didn't see. The incorrect thing to do is to put the verb in past. Don't put the verb in past when you have a negative. Okay, when you have a negative, don't put the verb in past. That's incorrect. Okay, didn't had, incorrect. Didn't ate, incorrect. Didn't played, incorrect. Didn't saw, incorrect. Okay, we put didn't with a verb in simple form. Now, let's practice with a dialogue. Okay, in the first part, okay, with person A, okay, we have where blank you go yesterday. Okay, this is a question. Now, with a question, we have to use did. Okay, and then for letter B, we see that somebody continued, let person B continue the conversation by saying, I blank to see a movie. Okay, now, this is not negative, but remember, when you have a negative, you have to put didn't with the verb, not in past. Okay, and then before we continue with the conversation, if you have a sentence in positive, and that's what we have in letter B, we have a sentence in positive, we use the verb in past. Don't forget. Okay, so let's go back to letter A. Where blank you go yesterday? This is a question, so we have to use did. B, I blank to see a movie. This is a positive sentence. We use the verb in past. I went to see a movie. Person A continues, what blank did you see? This is a question. We have to use did. Okay. Person B continues, I blank that new horror movie. Okay. This is another positive sentence. We have to put the verb in past. So I saw that new horror movie. Person A, you like it. This is a question. with a question, we have to use did. No, I blank. Okay, this is negative. I blank it. With a negative, we put didn't. With the verb not in past. I didn't like it. Okay, so we completed the dialogue, all right, by using did, didn't, and the verbs in past or simple form when need be. Okay, let's hope that this was simple. Okay, you know that if this gets a little bit complicated, you can watch this video again. Okay, if you have any questions about it, or if it's just too much for that, you can ask me directly on Friday. Okay, but before we do that, let's continue with a little bit more practice. This is just completing the sentences. Okay, we're going to make a combination of practice for vocabulary and practice for grammar. Number one, we went to a dairy farm to learn about milking cows. Okay, dairy farm, cows. That makes sense, right? Dairy, milk, it makes sense, perfect. Number two, what did you see at the National Museum? Okay, we go to a museum to see old objects, okay? And it's a question, so we have to finish the question with a question mark. Number three, she didn't like what? She didn't like the play. Okay, maybe she went to a theater and the play was boring. So she didn't like the play. Like today's plays, they're kind of wacky, to say the least. Okay. Number four, where did you go yesterday? Okay, we use did with the verb in simple form, but the complement, yesterday, the complement is a reference to the past. That's why this makes sense. And finally, number five, I don't like rock music. I don't really like rock music, okay? So maybe the person prefers to go to a concert hall to see a different kind of concert with a different kind of music, okay? So much for this practice. Let's do a little bit more. And I believe this is the last one. We have another conversation. We're going to circle the correct word to complete the sentences. Peter starts the conversation by saying, where did you go yesterday? Okay, yesterday, that's in past. We have to use did. Where did you go yesterday? Lucy, we went to the zoo. Okay, we're talking about yesterday. We went to the zoo. Remember, we started the conversation with yesterday, so we're going to continue with that same tense, with past tense, unless we see something different down the line, but I don't think so. So we're going to talk about yesterday. Peter, what did you see? It's in past, we have to use did. Did is for the past. Lucy, we saw lots of animals. We're talking about the past. We're going to use the verb in past because we have a positive sentence. Peter, did you like it? A question for the past is made with did. Don't forget. Lucy, I liked it a lot. I love animals. Okay? So did you like it? I liked it a lot. Okay, we're talking about yesterday. Did you like it yesterday? Yes, I liked it yesterday. Okay? Verb in past because we have a positive sentence. So this was not very complicated, I hope. Okay, this was basically what we saw a couple of weeks ago. All right, if you have any questions about this, you can make those questions directly to me on Friday. I will see you on Friday at 10:15, okay, for our tutoring session. All right, let's hope that we don't have any more problems, any more technical problems. Okay, watch this video 1 time, 2 times, 3 times if you need to. Okay, do the homework on the Servo Escolar platform. Esta vez la tarea va a estar en el muro, ya no va a estar en curso, porque necesito que hagan la tarea y la revisemos juntos el viernes. Ok, vamos a hacer una dinámica un poco diferente. Así que no se preocupen si no está la tarea donde han estado las demás de estas últimas semanas. Revisen el muro, ahí va a estar la tarea, de ahí descárguenla, háganla y ténganla a la mano para que el viernes la hagamos en clase, todos juntos en la sesión de Zoom. Okay, also remember to do the Pearson platform homework. Okay, do that homework too. I'll see you on Friday. Have a nice week. Okay, God bless you all. Bye-bye.